But if you jump on me, I'm going to jump and kill you and find you wherever you are. I'll kill you.
And then sat there with his child bride. At that time, she was 12 years old, Aisha, and watched the beheading together.
The vast majority of Muslims on this earth are peace-loving, kind, gentle souls. President of Act for America, and Michael Ghouse, founder of the World Muslim Congress. Thank you both for being here. Brigitte, let me start with the beginning of CARE's statement, which we cut off. Quote, "It's really unfortunate that there's a lot of attention on Muslims these days for actions of people who are either part of extremist groups or who have extreme ideas. However, Islam is clear on what it stands for. Islam stands for peace." Your thoughts?
Islam does not stand for peace. The word Islam in Arabic means submission. Salam is peace. Islam is submission. CARE is trying to deceive the public with their talking points. They think because most of the American public does not understand Islam, does not understand what Islam stands for, have never read the Quran, does not understand the Prophet Muhammad and what Prophet Muhammad himself stood for. This is what CARE is counting on. CARE's statement is false and misleading. It does not represent what Islam is all about.
Michael, your thoughts on that? It's really unfortunate that there's a lot of attention on Muslims these days for actions of people who are either part of extremist groups or have extreme ideas. The reason there is that attention is because these people are doing this, ISIS that is, in the name of radical Islam.
Well, Megan, first my heart goes out to the victims of their family, and I pray for their well-being. And the statement made by CARE was the correct statement. Islam does mean peace, but some Muslims don't do the right thing. In the United States, we have 318 million Americans. 3 million of them are incarcerated. We all follow the same constitution, same law. 316 million Americans do the right thing. 3 million don't. It doesn't mean the law books are wrong.
But do you think there's no connection to radical Islam here?
I don't think this is an individual loony, and he was finding an expression to do his violence, and he just found Islam, a radical Islam, to express himself. Islam does not teach violence at all. Brigitte, you and I have been many times at loggerheads. Islam does not teach violence. Some Muslims do. Christianity doesn't teach violence. Some Christians do. We cannot blame in your own city, New York, Megan, there are about 1,000 rapes last year. Does it mean all New Yorkers are rapists? No, it is not. So we need to be very logical and thoughtful about this.
Go ahead, Brigitte.
But here is the difference. In Christianity, nothing supports those who kill. In Islam, the Quran itself does. What those people who behead are doing are emulating Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad himself ordered the beheading of 800 men, Banu Qurayza. 800 men, he ordered their beheadings and then sat there with his child bride. At that time, she was 12 years old, Aisha, and watched the beheading together. So we have the beheadings, which is strictly Islamist, now practiced worldwide by devout Muslims, trying to emulate their prophet, Prophet Muhammad, whom they consider the perfect man, al-insan al-kamil. And this is why we are seeing beheadings across the world, no matter where these radicalized Muslims, no matter what their background is, whether they were Buddhist and converted, or whether they were Christians and converted, or whether they were Jews and converted, they all end up doing the exact same thing.
Mike, let me ask you this. Let me ask you. I don't understand, Mike, why you can't just say that, yes, of course, there is this faction of Islam that has radicalized, and I believe that they have completely misunderstood my religion, because the vast majority of Muslims on this earth are peace-loving, kind, gentle souls. But there is this faction, and they interpret the Quran, I love and know, in a way that I don't agree with, but you can't, how can you say that it's not Islamic?
Well, Megan, you want me to respond to the allegation just Brigitte made?
I'd like to answer my question. You can respond to Brigitte as well.
I don't want to get into a different off tangent. I can address that question.
Well, my question is not a tangent. Just answer that question. Why can't you just say that? Just to deny that there's any connection whatsoever to Islam makes a lot of people say, That's it. The ones doing the beheadings, you know, in ISIS, they happen to be Islamic. They're doing it in the name of radical Islam. The ones who just beheaded a bunch of folks in Afghanistan, them too. This guy all over the Facebook page, him too. Is it just pure coincidence?
In the entire Muslim world is condemning ISIS. They do not represent any Islamic values, but they do. They are part of Islam. They are part of us. They are radicals among us, and we are ashamed of them. But we have to stop them, and President Obama can give them a challenge. Hey, use the Quranic formula. That is, if you come after me, I ask you to stop. If you're still aggressive towards me, I still ask you to stop. But if you jump on me, I'm going to jump and kill you and find you wherever you are. I'll kill you. But if you repent and regret, I'm going to leave you, forgive you, excuse you. And that's what President Obama needs to give them a 3-day ultimatum. Drop all of this and...